Hello, how are you? I'm Olivia, and I'm a singer and a voice teacher, and I am going through the artist's way, trying to get my creativity juices flowing. Do you know what I'm saying? And I have just completed week 11. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the chapter and some of my takeaways and talk about how it's going for me. So if that's interesting to you, I would love if you stuck around. Week 11 is called Recovering a Sense of Autonomy. And she says at the start of the chapter that we examine the ongoing ways in which we must nurture and accept ourselves as artists. So the first section is called Acceptance, and it talks a little bit about some of the different things that can be involved in accepting yourself as an artist. Like there may be a mix of stability and instability in your life. It might look different from other people in your life, perhaps, and that maybe a 9-to-5 would work for you as a creative person, or maybe it wouldn't. So sometimes a 9-to-5 job might actually feel more freeing because you can just go make your money, and then the time that you have outside of that is yours to do what you need to do creatively. And then for other people, that might be draining to work a 9-to-5 or, whatever other kind of job. It might drain you so that you actually come home and you don't get anything done. So you have to kind of find what works for you. But I think that that's a good point, that it's not just simple, that for some people, being self-employed is just too much, because really being self-employed is like you have 3,000 jobs. All of a sudden, you're the marketing person, you're the website designer, you're everything. And that might not be what makes you feel good creatively. So that was a good thing to think about. And it's something that I have wrestled with in my life, I would say. And I think it's difficult to be self-employed, as I am, mostly self-employed. And I think it's an evolving thing, but I think for me, it works the best. I think it would be draining for me to have a job that didn't feel related to music or something in voice in some capacity. Then it also talks about how an artist's cash flow can be erratic. And that was, I needed to hear that because, I live in San Francisco. It's not cheap. Okay? I think accepting that things are not going to just be perfect all the time. You're not going to feel rich all the time. You're not going to always have money. It's okay. It's okay to have seasons where you feel like you have less or can't afford certain luxuries. That's okay. Am I in one of those seasons? Maybe I am. And that's okay. But I think she talks about the idea that money validates credibility and how that is really hard to shake. And I think, again, in this social media world where everybody's like so rich and like living their greatest lifestyle and everything, and that just in our society, it's like being rich is the goal. You're supposed to be rich and then retire and enjoy your money. And it is hard to shake. And I think it is something that, even though I don't feel like I subscribe to that way of life, money is comfort to a certain extent. Money does allow you to have freedom. But at what cost? I'm not willing to give up my life for money. I'm not willing to give up every minute of my day for something that doesn't feel good to me. But it's hard, your credibility coming from you showing up and doing the work, whether or not it's going to be a financial success. She says, I need to create what wants to be created. I cannot plan a career to unfold in a sensible direction dictated by cash flow and marketing strategies. It's like, that's like a different skill, marketing and all of those things. It's a different skill. And I'm trying to have those skills, but it's hard to have those skills. I don't have those skills. I'm working on it. So then she talks a little bit about success and how just when we think we have gotten there, the there moves to another location, I have had that many times where I feel like I've been working towards this thing, a big project, whether it's a creative project or more of a work project or whatever. And I get to the end of it and like, I don't care. Like, I don't feel like, oh, I did it, like so great. I just feel like, all right, well, let's keep moving. And she talks about as artists, we are spiritual sharks. If we don't keep moving, we sink to the bottom and die. And we might question like, can't I rest? And in a word, the answer is no. And I think, that's exhausting to be on that hamster wheel. Success is meaningless in a way because it's like whatever success you have is fleeting and it doesn't fulfill you. You always have to be moving toward the next thing. She also says, which I love, that it is the willingness to once again be a beginner that distinguishes a creative career. And I think that I am starting to learn that. I'm starting to really appreciate that as I do artist dates, as I try new things, as I feel more willing to try things in my career that, have been so anxiety inducing or so taxing on me. But now I feel like, okay, I could try that. Like, accepting that I'm not the best at it, but trying it. So I think that was helpful to read. The next section is called The Zen of Sports. And she basically is talking about moving your body and how that moving meditation is really helpful, whether that's just walking or running or swimming or whatever it is. For me, I have not always, but I mean, on and off through my whole life, I've been a runner. And I played soccer when I was a kid and stuff, and I've gotten more seriously into running the past few years. I think because I moved to San Francisco and the weather is perfect all the time, I was a bit of a fair weather runner in Chicago, I would say. She's basically talking about getting out of your head and into your body. And I think, there are things in this book that have sort of pointed to that you're kind of letting your arm make the painting, not like thinking about like, what am I going to paint next? You just kind of like follow the flow of what's coming through you. And I think that doing some kind of exercise, moving your body helps to loosen things up. Like, I feel like I get ideas, I get inspired, I get excited about things in a different way, like when I'm on a run, rather than if I'm just like, sitting around my house. So running has been really, really important, I would say, for me, for my mental health. And, it's great to just like get outside, get some fresh air. And she talks about how it's helpful to connect to the world around you rather than be in your self-obsessed loop. She also talks about in this chapter building your artist's altar. So basically creating a space for yourself that makes you happy. Something that when you look at something, it brings a memory, it's a happy thing. And for me, I'm really lucky that I have this office. You can't fully see everything, but I've got a lot of wonderful art that makes me feel, brings back great memories. This is a cool photograph from Santa Fe. This is Coit Tower here in San Francisco. That's a mola from, is it from El Salvador? But that's a family thing. Got some art from, my uncle, from my brother's girlfriend, some other cool stuff I've had from childhood. There are just like some really special things that I think it really is special to have your stuff and feel like home and feel comfortable. So I love that. In the tasks this week, let's see, she asks you to talk about some ways that you've changed since the beginning. I definitely feel like I've changed since the beginning of this process. I think I'm more open. I mean, like, it's hard to say, because it's like, I wish you could just go from not have the progression, but just like go from 12 weeks ago to now. I do feel like I'm more open to possibilities. I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed and in the present, and feeling like I have more hope for my life and my career, which is really rough, that I have spent so much time just not having hope. And then that turning into things not happening because I'm not setting those things in motion. So I think I'm feeling open to possibilities, and I will hopefully continue this. I'm going to hope, after this process, definitely continue to do my morning pages and artist state and all of that. Hopefully for life. Let's hope. I don't know. I did my morning pages every day this week. Pat on the back. I did an artist date. I went to a dance class. Oh my goodness. So great to get into get into the body using your moving meditation. That was so great. It was this contemporary dance class. I'm not a dancer at all. So it was definitely out of my comfort zone, but definitely something I think was really great for me and something I will hopefully continue to do. And this week, there was definitely some stuff that came up for me that I think, just like musically and stuff, that I think would have really upset me and really would have derailed me in the past. And it did. There were some things that kind of stirred some stuff up for me, but I feel like I was able to move through them in a new way, actually. And I think that hopefully is what I take away from this process. So that's it. Week 11, got one more week, and that's it. I'm excited. I feel proud that I've been able to stick with it. So thanks a lot for watching. Really appreciate it. If you're doing the Artist Way, I'd love to hear how it's going for you. If you have felt some changes. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.